Good morning students, in this video I am going to share with you some key concepts about Commonwealth literature that only a few students know about. Before beginning, if you want me to help you crack all these examinations in English literature, then don't forget to join my one-on-one personal training program where I will teach you how to develop the required skills and knowledge to crack any examination in English literature. Check the link in the description below to know more about this personal training program. And now without any further delay, let's begin this topic. First time the term Commonwealth literature was used in 1964 in University of Leeds, England, where the first conference of Commonwealth literature was organized. The purpose of creating this Commonwealth organization is to place the works from different countries under different categories. For instance, the works of R.K. Narayan was placed under the list of the authors who talk about India and its culture. The writer Patrick White was placed under the list of authors who talked about Australia and its culture. Similarly, Chinua Achebe under Nigerian authors, whereas Ngugi wa Thiong'o was placed under the writers who talked about Kenya and its culture. So the Commonwealth literature was trying to categorize all these writers under subcategories depending on what kind of origin or what kind of country they belonged from. The authors who were included under this umbrella term Commonwealth literature were from the countries like India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Canada, Australia, Africa, Nigeria and Kenya. These all are the countries who were the colonies of British Empire, and the main center of this British Empire was London, from where all these countries have been controlled by. Now here there are a number of problems that started taking place. The very first problem is about the categories in which all these authors have been listed. As I mentioned earlier, R.K. Narayan portrayed the Indian culture and V.S. Naipaul used to portray the culture of West Indies. The main problem is what about the writers who migrated from one place to another? For instance, Salman Rushdie was born in Mumbai, whereas his family later moved from India to Pakistan and he himself migrated from India to England. And as we know that Salman Rushdie has portrayed India, Pakistan and England in his works. And now how Commonwealth literature is going to define this writer, in which category Commonwealth literature is going to put this writer. He is not only portraying the culture of India but also Pakistan and England. This is the first reason why Commonwealth literature was discarded by all the authors around the world. Another reason why Commonwealth literature failed is that if it is talking about representing a culture of a particular country, then why only English writers were placed under this category? Why the writers from local languages were not considered in this category? For example, Mahashweta Devi too has portrayed Indian culture in her works. She used to write in Bengali. In fact, she has portrayed Indian culture in such a way that no other Indian writer can represent it. And this lack of explanation by Commonwealth literature had made all the writers to doubt the motive behind. However, don't forget that post-colonial literature includes all these writers, be it from local language or English language, under one umbrella. In post-colonial literature, we read the translations, we read the works from different languages, we read the work from different countries, and there are no such subcategories. And that's why post-colonial literature was placed above Commonwealth literature. And now talking about the main reason why Commonwealth literature failed to influence its place in English literature is that it does not include the literature of America and British itself. Yet we know that America too was a colony of British Empire. In fact, America celebrates its Independence Day on 4th July every year. So logically, it too must be a part of Commonwealth literature. And also the writers from British literature too representing the Britain culture in their works. Then why not there is another category for British writers in this Commonwealth literature? Therefore, after 20 years from the first conference that was held in University of Leeds in England, Salman Rushdie stood against Commonwealth literature and declared that Commonwealth does not exist. And against this field of study, a new kind of study started emerging, which we now known as post-colonial literature. Now, instead of glorifying the British Empire the way we did in Commonwealth literature, now we question the assumptions of British Empire in post-colonial studies. Many writers throughout the world went against this Commonwealth literature and discarded it altogether. Even the famous Indian writer Amitav Ghosh refused the 2001 Commonwealth Literature Award, which has been given to him for his novel The Glass Palace. So now if any teacher or a student asks you to study Commonwealth literature for NET examination, then discard this subject the way all the writers throughout the world has discarded it. Instead of studying Commonwealth literature, go for the study of post-colonialism. And with this, we come to the end of this video. If you have any query, drop your questions in the comments below. I make sure to resolve all your doubts in my upcoming videos. And if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, don't forget to subscribe the channel for more updates on English literature. That's it for this video. Thank you.